Hi there and welcome to Make It Monday with Tina. This week we're going to be doing some embroidery work and I'm going to show you a different style that I use using picture panels. Okay, so I'm going to be using this gorgeous panel. You can get it from the craft store and it's by the Little House of Victoria. There's different versions of this, so I'm going to be working on the robin. And if I show you the end piece here, so we've got our beautiful robin, and I've got some other examples to show you, because on the other examples I've actually sewn lots and lots of the actual panel in. With this one I'm going to show you a style which, if you were an artist, you know that there's something called cross hatching, and that is just doing different lines as shade. So with this, I've taken that concept and I've done that with the actual sewing, and then we've got some other little bits here, which is a chain stitch, and then we've got this one going down here, which is a really quite a nice decorative stitch. Okay, so I'll show you some of the others that I've done as well. This is another of the Little House of Victoria pieces. So we've got a lovely kingfisher here, and as you can see, I've made the kingfisher, I've filled in everything from that one, and then with this one I've just taken the odd leaf because I want the kingfisher to be the main focus. We have this one, which is an Annie Morris one, so again I've covered all of the elements in this one, and then this one I've taken the background picture, but I've added my own colour in, so it's kind of got a different concept to it. So it's, you know, it's you've got greens in here, you've got blues in here, just so that the light hits when you do a picture. If you're painting, the light hits in different ways, and you can have different colours showing, and that's what I wanted to do with this piece. So let's pop those ones to one side, and let's concentrate on the cross hatching effect with our robin. Okay, so always use a hoop if you can, because it really holds your work taut. So I'm going to pop it so that I'm taking the back part here of the robin, popping the hoop over and then making sure that's secure, and it should have like a little drum effect there, so tighten up. So you've got that lovely and taut, like a drum. Okay, so I'm going to take my brown thread first of all. So I'm using a single thread, and I'm looking at this, and with this one it's made quite easy for you, because you've got, where it's printed onto the type of linen fabric, you've got kind of a crisscrossy feel anyway. So if I take the thread up through here, and then I'm going to shade. So all I'm doing is straight lines. So I want to shade along the back. Okay, so just some straight lines going down here. So I'm just concentrating on my vertical lines, bringing them just down the back. And you can shade as much as you like. With the original one, I used a thread that had some glittery pieces in it, but I didn't want that to hit the lights with the cameras here, so I just using a plainer thread just so that you can see. So carry on with your lines, and then do some that are a little bit longer part the way down here, like this. So we'll concentrate on this area. Again through here. You don't have to make them uniform or anything like that, just some random little lines, keeping them vertical. Okay, so this is when the cross hatching comes in, because I'm now going to take some lines and go horizontally across, and they're going to be in random places like that. So where I'm shading, just if you think when you're sewing and you're thinking about like shading, think what you would do if you were using paints, if you were using your alcohol inks, you know, where you're going with your shade. It's exactly the same when you're sewing. So just like that. So you can see that we've built up lots and lots of little crosses there that add shade. Okay, and I've used a colour, obviously the robin, the wings of the robin are brown, so I've gone in with brown. But as you can see from Victoria's painting here, and these are original paintings by Victoria from Little House of Victoria's, by the way, which are absolutely beautiful. If you look at her painting, she brings in other colours as well, so I can see sort of blues and greens in there. So I'm just going to fasten that off at the back here. Okay, and then I've got quite a dark green, but I'm going to then go back to the same place and add some vertical lines in the green. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of bringing in a different shade, if you like. So when you're shading, you don't just have one colour that's the shade. You have several colours that make up the actual shade in the lights and the darks. So by doing this, you're doing exactly the same thing as you are when you're colouring, and you're making a beautiful and interesting shade effect. So cross hatching is such a clever way of like colouring. It really is, because it's basically lines. Everybody can draw a line, you know, so you just need to give it a try and then just concentrate on where your shade will be and try with 2 different colours to start with. That's it, so just along here. So as you can see, building up quite nicely, just there, like that. So that is the crosshatch effect on here. So again, if I bring in this one, you'll see that I've used a light green on this, and I've used a very dark brown on the sides there. But that's all you need to do. Just carry on doing this and shade around. With the robin's breast there, what I did is I took, let me just take this off, snip this away. I took my red, and just so that it didn't look so shaded, but I wanted the red to be obviously part of it, because that's the part of the robin that we love, isn't it? So I just did some vertical lines as my shading lines in different lengths. So although it's like the crosshatch, I'm not actually doing the crossover effect on this one. I'm just doing lines to give the effect and draw your eye to the fact that the red is there, and that's part of the robin. So just do lots and lots of your vertical lines. So it's so easy to get the effect and to do this. And if you do try it at home, I'd love to see as well if you like and subscribe to this channel, and then you can put in your comments and put a link to where you've done your piece. It'd be really brilliant to see. So there, we just carry on like that, and then that gives you the effect that we've got going on here of just some vertical lines, but it really brings out the redness in that breast. So I'm going to pop that one to one side and pop this to one side as well, because I just want to bring in our lovely kingfisher here. And I've got some yellow this time, because all I did was I picked out some of the leaves, and this is probably going to be quite bright, but it's like a greeny yellow lime colour. It's really lovely, and I want to show you how I got this effect here using a leaf stitch. So let me just take my hoop, pop it in here. Okay, so it's nice and secure, and then I'm going to start from this point here and we're going to take it in a downwards direction and then up on one side and then to the middle and then up on the other side, back to the middle and then to the side of that first stitch, to the middle and to the side. So that's all you're going to do, bit to the middle, over to the outside, back to the middle, over to the opposite side, back to the middle, over to the opposite side. Now this is called, it's called a few things actually, but I know it as the leaf stitch because you're making a really beautiful effect on your leaf. You've got this centre going down there, and with this one I've used a variegated thread. So if you want to, you could do part in this thread. If you don't have variegated threads, then you could use 2 different threads, 3 different threads. You could do part of it in one colour, then blend into another colour, or you could take a strand of like 2 or 3 different colours and put them through the needle at the same time, so that you're actually using that in a kind of a variegated way. So this I find so therapeutic, this stitch as well. So there we go. So back to the middle and up to the sides, middle to the side. So there you go. So you would carry on all the way along here just to get this effect. And I think that this is, you know, such a beautiful, beautiful stitch. And I only wanted to do a few of these, as I said, because I love the main focus being on the bird. So there's a couple of ways that you can use your beautiful panels that you can get, the beautiful pictures, and make them something a little bit special. As you can see, with this one is made into a lovely cushion, which is going to be lovely for Christmas. So that's today's show. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please like and subscribe at the bottom of our page. It should be about here, and I'll see you again next week. See you later.